Well, look on the track.
Oh, wow.
That looks like a full can of beverage.
That's a beverage of some kind.
Well, it could have been a beverage can. It could have been a piece of concrete.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Newman kicks it up, and wow.
You know what? That's a piece of the track, guys.
They were over there in turn 2 working last night in that area of the racetrack.
When it exploded, it looked like fluid went somewhere, but that's a piece of the racetrack. It's a big chunk of track right there. But that's
well,
exactly
if that was a chunk
happened.
of concrete,
oh, yeah,
we believe it was. Look at the damage done. And let's have a further look here at turn number 2.
And Mike, you see that kind of white look?
Yeah.
It's where the track has been ground.
But look at where it is, Darrell. It's right at the corner of an expansion joint.
Exactly.
Or maybe
it's been ground right there.
With the red flag displayed, teams cannot work on their car. I disagree with NASCAR not letting Jamie McMurray's team work on that one car, because you know what? This was not anything. This was an element of the racetrack. I just feel like they should let them work on that race car right now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
However, I believe the precedent was set at Martinsville when Jeff Gordon wasn't leading the race and hit a chunk of concrete, went into the nose of his car. Let's show you what we're talking about. Back in 2004 at Martinsville Speedway in Virginia, which has concrete corners and asphalt straightaways. There's the chunk of concrete going into the nose of Jeff Gordon's car. NASCAR President Mike Helton and Gordon out there looking over the surface, and
Jeff pleaded his case to Mike Helton about letting them work on the car.
But the racetrack sustained a bit of damage from that fire, and they are getting the residue of the diesel fuel and the jet fuel cleaned off the racetrack so we can go back racing. Today, NASCAR made the decision not to keep the fans all day here in the rain, but move the race to 7 p.m. tonight. And now a new use for laundry detergent.
You know, back in the day, not too many years ago, that could have got them all that they wanted.
So a little water and a little detergent.
Garden spreader.
Whatever it takes.
See if there's a crossover move that Ambrose has to do here. Whoa, there's trouble. There's trouble behind them. Caution is out. Denny Hamlin.
Hit your mark here. You're way better than he is. Hit your mark. Caution's out, caution's out. Caution is out off of 7.
Those barrels at the end of pit road that are filled with gravel and sand have been destroyed.
Left rear damage.
Well, that's a big miss. It's going to take a little while to clean up. This race might go overtime. See Denny back there. It's hard to tell if there was any contact from behind on Denny's part.
Cleaning up here at Watkins Glen. The track services crew has sure gotten a workout today. Rebuilding a section of guardrail earlier, and now replacing those safety barrels protecting the end of the pit wall after Denny Hamlin crashed into them.
78 laps to go, under a break here for track repair. When you pave a racetrack beginning at the bottom of the apron, you lay the pavement in courses about 12 feet wide, and that creates a seam right where those safety workers are standing, and some of the asphalt in that seam between the lowest and the next course has come up. You can see the seam there right along where that safety worker, you can see the first seam right here and the second. Casey Kane riding around under caution. Talked to his crew about it.
Hey, I think they're just going to put a cone over that patch down they got going down there. You're just going to dodge that the rest of the day. Is that all right? I can do that.
Only him.
As they're going to drill a relief hole to get started here.
Wow. Oh, my gosh. I was thinking they needed to get a bigger drill, but actually they don't.
Never seen anything like that. Pressure and water underneath there.
Yeah. Look at
Joey's reaction.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that.
Nope.
That was my first lap up there. I thought the track was coming apart, and apparently it had something to do with water, and we took a really big saw to it.
Look
big
at
concrete saw.
There is a river flowing underneath this racetrack.
That is amazing. Look at all the water coming out of there.
I was trying to leave room, and I probably came down on Eric just a little bit more than I thought I did, and he got loose, no air on the car. And I hit the wall there, and then there's this spot on the wall with just an atrocious angle. I don't know what that spot is for, but it does not need to be there. But we found it. That's how racing goes. You find the things, and we found this. You know, this track really was part of the safety revolution, you know, about 15, 20 years ago, and I think it's time for another.
Well, they talk about the safer barriers being put in 2002, but the guys in the booth kind of analyzing that maybe that was a good spot for the tires, given that angle of the wall behind it.
Yeah, that's an interesting conclusion. I'm not sure I agree with that, but I think there probably should not be weird angles like that to wreck on.
Imagine the side of that car hitting that wall and what damage that would have done and the impact that Brad would have felt. So, yeah, it was dramatic. The car got up on its side. You hate to ever see a car on its side where a driver may not be able to get out of that race car, but in this case, he was able to get out, absorbed a ton of energy. That was a huge hit. I just can't believe how fast Brad was going when he crossed back over the racetrack.